Hello, everyone. I hope that you're doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha, and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you are listening, subscribing, and commenting. And if you're interested in supporting me further, you can do that by going to my Patreon or Ko-fi link. They're in the description below. In this one, I wanted to speak to you guys about an image that I shared recently on the community, the YouTube community. And it was particularly about putting yourselves first as an individual in general, not just as an INFJ, but as a mother or as a daughter, as whatever it might be. Yeah. And there was a slew of comments saying, how do I do this? It's so difficult. I don't know how. As soon as someone's problems come up, or if someone's in trouble, or if someone needs me, instantaneously I drop everything and I go to help that person, even though I might need time off for myself, even though I might need to take care of myself because I'm tired, exhausted, etc. If someone else comes up to me and says, I need help, the thing that INFJs do is that we drop everything of our own and we go and help that person. Now, I think this is a thing that is definitely one of our superpowers, right? We are empathic. We understand that we're not the only ones on this planet. A lot of people on this planet behave, I think, as if they're the only ones on the planet, right? They're so selfish and they throw garbage everywhere as if it's not really their planet, it's not really Mother Earth. They'll treat people like, well, terribly, because they believe that they're the only important person on this planet. And so the fact that we're able to notice and realize that you're not the only person on this planet, there's hundreds, thousands, millions of other people who are not more important than you, but are as important as you. There's no hierarchy here. Yeah, just because they're a superstar doesn't mean they're more important than you, even though people might assign them that role. And just because that person is, I don't know, garbage collector, or I don't know, something where you perhaps look down upon them, they're obviously at the same level as you. There's no distinction. Everyone is the same. And so we realize that fact, right? The only problem, obviously, with INFJs is that we put ourselves down in comparison to everyone else. We will say, yes, of course everyone is the same, and everyone should be treated properly with kindness and with the same kind of integrity and gratitude and love. But then when it comes back to us, we're like, well, yeah, everyone else is cool and nice and needs help or needs to be treated nicely. But for me, particularly, I can take care of myself. I don't need anyone else to take care of me. I'm okay. And, other people are more important. I'll put them first. I'll put myself last. Unfortunately, I used to do this a lot in my younger years, especially in my teens and 20s. So much so to the point where I would get burnt out and exhausted and I'd get sick. And that's the main problem with this whole situation, is that when we do this to ourselves over and over and over again, we're obviously telling ourselves over and over again that we're not important. And when the body and the mind and the spirit hears this over and over again, then we start believing it. We start believing in our unworthiness. We start believing in our undeservingness. And we start treating ourselves poorly. And that poorliness, that treating ourselves poorly, results in other people treating us poorly as well. And so a lot of times INFJs complain about the fact that they're treated like, crap by other individuals in their life. They're treated not well by other individuals in their life, and they wonder why. They're like, why do people treat me like this? I'm so nice to them. The basic idea is that they see the fact that you don't treat yourself properly. You treat yourself like, whatever it might be. You treat yourself poorly, and so then they follow that. They follow that adage. I noticed for myself is that as soon as I started putting myself first and saying, no, I am important, not more important than you, but when I need time off for myself or for my work, it's important to me and I'm going to take that time. And if you need me right now, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to wait for a few minutes or a few hours, whatever it might be, and then I will come back to you. And so as soon as I started doing that, other people started realizing that I'm serious about it, about taking care of myself, my needs, my projects. And they started relenting. They started becoming more flexible, and they started treating my time and my energy and myself as better than they did before, right? And so, of course, people need that. People treat you the way you treat yourself. It's really as simple as that. So if you want to be treated better, you need to treat yourself properly. Now, of course, it's easier said than done. And I'm not saying I got to this point just like, kabam, and I'm here, or kaboom, I'm here. But basically what I did was I started, first of all, obviously taking care of myself really well. And so self-care is a big one in this. If you take care of yourself, self-care leads to self-love. And self-love leads to other people loving you as well and treating you well. So it's a whole cycle, but it will not start until you start that process of self-care. Now, what we say to ourselves is that, I'm strong. I can handle it. I can handle anything. I'm fine. No one needs to take care of me. No one needs to be around me. I'm good. I'm independent and I can do it. I don't need anyone. And so also we tell ourselves that, I'm strong, so I don't need to take care of myself either. And so we just keep on pushing ourselves over and over and over again, day in, day out, month in, month out, sometimes year in, year out, until we burn out, exhausted, and fall to the ground and hate everyone for it, right? Hate everyone for pulling from us. Whereas the reality is that we were the ones who kept on giving. It is not a given that if someone says, so I need you, I'm in trouble and I need you. It's not absolutely a given that you can be like, all right, yeah, I'm going to drop everything and go and help you. It's not a given. And that's what I really want you guys to understand, is that it's not imperative. It's not absolutely mandatory for you to sit there and say, okay, someone needs me, I need to drop everything and go and help them. In fact, what I've noticed is that most people tend to exaggerate their troubles, and most people tend to make things out to be bigger than they actually are. And so a lot of times what I'll say, and people ask me all the time for help, and what I will say is, and I've said this many times to you guys as well, is that my time and my projects are more important to me than anything else, and taking care of myself, obviously, in the process. So if you need me, and I do this to my family as well, my friends, I will give them a timeline. I will always give them a timeline. When I'm at home, my mom is needy in a way where she needs people a lot, and she's an extrovert, so she has more energy to interact with people than I do. And so I've kind of trained her over time to realize that, first of all, I'm an introvert, so I cannot hang out with people as much. And I tell her this all the time. Mom, I'm an introvert. I need a lot more time on my own than you do. You're an extrovert. You can be around people all day long. I cannot. And so I've been telling her this over and over again, and she's basically understanding it, I think, after years and years. But also, I will give her a timeline. So this actually works out really well in terms of putting people off. Because a lot of times you'll realize when you give people a timeline, for example, I'm busy right now. I have something that I'm working on, and I will have time 2 hours later. Is that okay? I'll come to you 2 hours later. And I say this to my mother as well when I'm at home. She's like, oh, can you help me with this right now? I'm like, no, Mom, I can't. I just have this important thing to finish. I'll just finish it quickly as soon as I can, and then I'll be with you. I promise. And so just kind of giving them that timeline, instantaneously they're relaxed. They're like, all right, cool. I know what time you're going to be free, what time you're going to come. And so I'll finish my work, and usually it doesn't take as long as I give her, obviously estimate more than it's actually going to take you. So I'll be like, I'll be there in 2 hours, or I'll finish my work in an hour, and then I'll be with you. And she's like, all right, cool. And then usually I finish in 45 minutes or an hour, and I'm there with her, and she feels good. She's like, all right, great. Let's go do my thing, what I needed you for. A lot of times I'll do this with friends as well. And also, I'm actually really good at saying no. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not interested, or no, I don't think I want to do that. But of course, as I said, it takes a lot of time to get there. So perhaps don't say no, because that's a hard one for us to say. Perhaps assuage them by saying, all right, yeah, I'd love to help you, but I'm just in the middle of something right now. I know this is important to you, and I care about you. I want to be there for you. Can you just give me 1 hour? Or can you just give me 2 hours? Or can you just wait until tomorrow? Or whatever it might be, whatever your timeline is, whatever you're working on. Now, if you're tired and exhausted and you're like, no, I can't do it, I'm so tired, tell them that. I know it's like something difficult to say, but I say this all the time to friends or family who are like, can you do this for us? Like, no, I'm so tired. I really just want to sleep. Can I just sleep tonight, and then I'll help you tomorrow morning? I'll be so much fresher, so much more better. I'll be better able to help you than right now. I'm just too tired right now. The thing that we assume as INFJs is that people are not going to understand us. But how can they not? I'm not saying everyone's empathic, but not everyone's a cruel person where if someone's sitting in front of them saying, oh, I'm so tired, can you just give me a few minutes or a few hours? They're going to be like, no, I need you right now. Most people are not going to be like that, right? We assume that they're asking for our help right away, but most of the time people are like, yeah, of course, take your time. I just need you, but I don't need it right away. And so a lot of times I'm like, oh, why did I think that they would need me right away? And I think that's what an INFJ thinks, is that we just want to drop everything and be like, all right, someone needs me. Let me go into savior mode. I'm going to help them. I'm going to change the world. I'm going to protect them, blah, 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 right? It's very automatic for us to go into that mode. But mostly people don't need us right away. Yeah, remember that. They don't need you right away. You can take your time and take your self-care time, whatever it might be. Take your nap or whatever you need in order to rejuvenate yourself, and they will most probably 99% of the cases be fine with it, right? Now, of course, if it's an emergency, then maybe if your mother has been in an accident, you have to go help her or things like that, you have to go, right? I'm not saying about every situation is going to be like that, but how often does this kind of emergency happen anyways, right? When my mom was sick and my dad was sick, I'm in Thailand, they're over there, and so I have to go to them. And so, of course, I dropped everything and I left. But because I know how my schedule works out, I was able to manipulate it so that I don't feel like I was losing out on too much work. And that's how I do it as well. I'm always kind of planning for the worst. So I'm always planning for like the fact that I might not get a chance to do my video today, so I'll just have a few as a buffer. I'm always thinking that perhaps I might be called out by a friend to do something spontaneous and fun. So I always have something in my schedule, like a buffer or like a space, so that I can not work 1 or 2 days and it should be fine. And just kind of planning in that way really helps, because when my mom or my sister called me and said, mom's sick, she's in the hospital, I was like, yeah, of course, I'm booking my ticket right now. And I booked it and I was able to leave because my schedule is that way. I've kind of built it that way, and I've built buffers into it, and I've built it in a way where I can take a couple of days off or a few days off, and it won't really change the world or ruin everything completely. Also, there are moments where you can take care of yourself, and this is something that I've learned myself, is that you don't need to necessarily go into your cave to take care of yourself. Take these little moments here and there and take care of yourself that way. If you're traveling in a bus or in a car, take a few moments and do a quick meditation. That's what I do. Whenever I feel like I feel overwhelmed, I don't have time to do my full meditation. If I'm traveling, I'll just do a brief one. Or while I'm traveling, I'm in the bus or in the car or in a plane, and I'll just do my meditation there, and I'll take time off for myself there. Or I'll take my time to read my mangas there. Or I'll take a few moments out of a party and go to my room and read my mangas for a bit, just to rejuvenate myself, or go to the bathroom if I'm in a public place, and then just take my time to sit on the toilet and read my mangas or whatever it might be. Yeah. And so don't be so rigid in the fact that you can only take your self-care time at this time, it has to be here and that's it, because that's also creating a lot of stress and tension within yourself that you don't need. You already have a bunch of it coming at you, right? And so these are the few tips I would give you guys about how can you put yourself first, because it really is about flexibility, and it's about asking for your time. And putting yourself first is just about knowing that you are worth it. You are worth it, absolutely worth it. Not more than the other person, but as much as the other person. So if you need the time, take the time, because then you'll be able to give back to that person even better. When I take time for myself and I'm able to relax and then help my mother or my friend, I'm so much better at it. I am perfectly able to take whatever they send at me. Whatever they send at me, I am able to take it because I am relaxed, rested, and rejuvenated. Okay? So I hope this helps. If it didn't, or if there's something that you think I'm missing, let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you want to support me further, you can do that by going to my Patreon link. It's in the description below. I shall see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.